That really takes me back to the operational days too.
Such an amazing movie.
Yeah, the disguise unit is fantastic. And
okay, so here's
Joan
video.
Mendes. Yeah.
So this is from the disguise. Wow,
yeah, she was there. She was senior officer there.
Were you ever talking to someone? I think this motherfucker's wearing a disguise.
No, but I've talked to people wearing disguises. I've had the full overhead mask.
Look how good that is with sunglasses on. With sunglasses on, that's crazy.
I never did wear the monkey outfit. We didn't do that one.
But look how good that looks.
Yeah.
That's insane.
No, and here's the thing about this is that because what they did was they went to Hollywood, and there's been this liaison for years and years between the agency and Hollywood when it comes to special effects, when it comes to makeup. And again, and it's horses for courses. So sometimes you need a light disguise, right? I'm not giving away any secrets. This stuff is all out there, so you get a light disguise. It's for a brief, cover for action. You're not going to be engaged in this.
So what would be a light disguise?
Like a rubber nose. Yeah, it could be like a wig. It could be facial hair. Change of glasses. Could be just a change of hair color. In reality, if you're out on the street, I know I'll probably disappear down a rabbit hole and people will be like, oh, this is fucking boring. But if you're out on the street and you're in a surveillance exercise, say, right, and you're covering a target, then all you got to do is you're just talking about switching up your look a little bit. It could be a hat, right? It could be a coat. It could be a backpack, whatever you're doing. So it doesn't have to be much. And then you got the full other side of the spectrum, which could be a full overhead mask, right? That's a process, right? It's just like with Hollywood. There's no difference. And the key is when you're out on the street and you're in disguise, nobody is thinking that person's in disguise, right? So it's dependent upon your bearing. I've seen people in disguise who don't pull it off well, right? Because they're worried, like, oh, I'm in disguise. People are thinking I'm in disguise. Nobody gives a shit. Everybody's worried about their own little bubble out there.
So it's your body movements and your body language.
Right. It's your bearing. How do you comport yourself? How do you carry yourself? Are you confident in it? And also, do you understand that the vast majority of people out there, no matter where you are, right, fourth world country, U.S., wherever, they're not thinking about it, right?
Right.
And I've had extended conversations with people in disguise where, they don't give a fuck. They don't know. And it is remarkable how good they are at this. But that unit is fantastic.
Did they give you like a rubber muscle suit ever?
No, I never got a fat suit. No.
But a muscle suit.
I know one of the guys I worked with, he got a fat suit.
Really?
Yeah. Changed his weight because that's also one of those things where you're looking to, right? You're just looking to alter your profile. And weight is a big part of it.
And what does the fat suit entail? Is it like a skin one where it looks real? Or
well,
is it
no,
just like
mostly it's under your clothes, right? And so it's like it's padding, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But it's quick. You have to be able to do this quickly. Look, I've been on the streets of capital cities around the world where I'm on a motorcycle and I've got a helmet on. That's a pretty good disguise. But you got to get off that motorcycle at some point and walk the streets or go somewhere, whatever. Right. And so you've got to be able to do these things quickly, right?
Right.
Or so again, not giving away any sources or methods, but I will say the disguise unit and Mrs. Mendez there, who they just showed briefly, she ran that operation to a great person and a great part of the agency. And it is acting. Right, There's no different.
So this is what I was going to get to. Did they teach you how to walk casual? They teach you what to see in someone that's tense?
Well, yeah. You spend a lot of time. Yeah, you do. That's a good way to put it, I guess. You spend a lot of time observing people, right, and understanding. And part of that is you're trying to get a sense of. If you're trying to get a sense of whether they're lying, you're watching for certain things. You're watching for their body movement and the way they're behaving and the things that they're saying. A lot of times they're not consistent with what they're saying. So that's not necessarily watching their movements. But a lot of times, if you're trying to get on side with somebody, right? So if I'm trying to develop a relationship with the deputy foreign minister of whatever from some country, right, because they've got inside information on their nuke program, then I'll spend a lot of time thinking about and watching and observing that person, and eventually I'm mirroring that person's activities, right? So, if you're sitting across from somebody and they lean on the desk, right, and they start talking to you. They move in a little bit closer. Well, I'm gonna do the same thing. And I'm gonna come in. They don't know it. They don't understand it, but it makes them more comfortable, right? So if you start mirroring their actions, their activities, that's just one of those things. It's a small part of it, but it's one of them.
My buddy told me that when you see people like leaning against a wall, that we see people in foreign countries leaning against a wall, 9 times out of 10 they're American. Like with leaning like one shoulder against a wall. He said it's a very American thing to do. Like lean against doorways with one shoulder or lean against a wall with one shoulder.
Yeah, I wouldn't make a lot of book on that. I mean, because it's a Western thing more than just an American thing. I've seen I'd spent a long time in Europe, and Italians will lean against the wall. Spaniards will lean against the wall. But it is a Western thing. So if you're walking the streets of Vladivostok or wherever, then you have to be aware of it. Also, little things like how you eat, right? How do you hold your fork and knife? I mean, it could be anything that could show out as a certain cultural handle.